Hey everyone, I wanted to show a quick time lapse of me cooking for my fiance on Christmas Eve. We originally planned to spend Christmas Day with my family, so this was my only chance to prepare a big meal. This is my first time making a 4-course meal. Usually when it comes to these holiday dinners, I usually just eat whatever my friends and family make, so this was a pretty big jump for me. The first thing I had made was loaded mashed potatoes. This is something I make pretty regularly, so I've had a long time to tweak my recipe as need be. Initially, this dish arose when I was trying to be non-dairy for a while just because of my lactose intolerant. I've since given up on that, but I still like to go back to this dish a lot because it's super good. Obviously, it's made out of potatoes. I use these gold ones since I like the texture when they're cooked, but use whatever you have. I cut mine into 8 pieces per potato. Make sure to add salt to the boiling water. It helps with the rolling boil, as well as it also seasons the food too while you cook it. Cook until you can poke through the potatoes with a fork. Should be about 8 to 10 minutes. There's no need to wait for the water to boil first before adding the potatoes. Just add it in all together, then let boil. While that's going, I cooked my loaded things. So in a medium-low heat pan, saute half a diced onion, 3 cloves of chopped garlic, cubed summer sausage, and fry it with your oil of choice. I use avocado because it has important oils and fats. Summer sausage also just has a lot of oil when it's kind of like rendering out, so just be aware of that too. This time around, I threw in some sliced mushrooms because I had them in my fridge. Ideally, let them cook until fragrant and brown. If you have the mushrooms, cook them until they glisten and are much smaller. Once the potatoes are cooked through, drain water with whatever hygienic means possible. This is optional, but slice up some cheese to make it cheesier. Not necessary, but I had leftovers from a pizza night this week. Then we start mashing. I don't have a potato masher, so I use whatever cooking utensils I have. I think this time I was using a fork to really just try to flatten them individually. You also want to do this over a low heat too to help keep the dish warm, so just be aware not to burn yourself. So as you smash, add your choice of oil. I went with a combination of avocado and leftover oil from when I was cooking lumpia. Fiance commented it tasted like carrots, so whoops on my parts. It's going to be done when you get like this smooth paste similar to regular mashed potatoes. This is also when I add in my loaded materials as well as the cheese. So to help boost the umami content or the savoriness of the dish, make sure to add some Parmesan cheese. If you want a full non-dairy version of this, I would sub out the Parmesan cheese with MSG or some sort of like mushroom powder. Next we have our charred Brussels sprouts. Preheat the oven to 400 degrees before we cut them up into halves. It's good to wash them first. After washing them, lay them out onto the tray. Once they're cut, drizzle your oil of choice and salt. Throw it in for 30 to 45 minutes. Afterwards, put them into a bowl and mix it with a chili sauce. I bought this from Costco. The idea was to have a dish that was similar to an appetizer that we've had from the Eureka restaurant. The Brussels sprouts dish that they have is really good. Mine sucked. If I was to make this dish again, I would probably slightly cook the Brussels sprouts in boiling water and then add them to the oven. Mostly because they had this weird earthy taste that I didn't like. They also weren't as charred as I was hoping for, or crispy. And then for our main course, I had purchased this USDA prime chuck roast. I seasoned it liberally with pink salt, pepper, and garlic. I threw it in at the same time as I was cooking the Brussels sprouts. It cooked for about an hour, but I should have stayed in longer since I had a rare finish. I was hoping for a medium well done. Afterwards, I pan-seared it to help it with the crust, and yeah, overall, I thought it was okay. An easy way to improve this would be to let it cook for longer, and preferably at a lower heat too. Not the best steak I've made, but it really shined when I used it for leftovers the following day. I made a killer chuck roast sandwich. And finally, for dessert, I had prior made banana pumpkin chocolate bread like the day before from this vegan cookbook called Plant You. The recipe is really good, and the ingredients were super simple. That's pretty much it. If you guys like this video, like and subscribe, and feel free to tell me about your Christmas meal in the comments. What was your favorite food, and what's something I can try to make for the following year? Anyways, thanks for sticking around to the end of the video. I'm grateful to have friends and family that are willing to listen to me talk about my weaknesses and shortcomings, as well as like how I'm doing. I can't wait to go into 2023 with you all, and I will see you all next year. Until next time.